Morning, everybody, and welcome to Formula 7 Racing. We are live for a sprint race around Australia. Let me just mute that. Sorry, guys. I do need to do a quick audio check in a minute, just to check that it sounds okay. And then in terms of the game audio, I can't hear the game audio, so just give me a second. That's because it's Captain Le Mans audio. So now, that should be sorted. Let me just check. Let me know if the audio is too quiet or too low, guys, because I don't know. So, Odon, and then Max Scavenger to the line. The McLaren taking a provisional pole in the sprint. You've got Blaze, you've got Marcel, who usually sticks to Le Mans, but he's here in Australia for our Formula 1 at Tier 3. Sergio Silva, the Portuguese driver, to the line, and he goes up to P7. Now P8, P9. Slow P Gamer in the Aston Martin. 1.5 down on pole position at the moment. So it's bringing up fastest lap we want to the leader. There we go. So Super Skills, Udi, Nimblecat. Nimblecat going wide. Nimblecat's into the grass. So, Nimble making a mistake. Wobbly Lizard is starting his lap in the Williams. No, he's just finishing it. 6 tenths behind the leader goes the Williams driver of Wobbly Lizard. So that rear wing wide open. Alfie Edwards, the Mercedes driver, who was promoted from Tier 4 just this season, is throwing that car around really well here in Tier 3. So he's definitely got the pace. Max Scavenger in the McLaren, and then Odon. The Odon, is this not his home Grand Prix? I might be wrong, but I'm pretty positive we do have an Australian driver on the grid here. Yeah, it is. It's Odon. He's an Australian driver. Well, that's what his flag says he represents anyway. Guys, if I can just have your help. So anybody that's showing as player, they just need to make their public ID show their name, they're public. You don't need to share all your data, you can just share your name. And then it doesn't say player. Same for, I think there's another one that's just showing, yeah, so Just Hayes as well is showing as just player. You don't need to share all your race data and all that, just your name. Marcel, you're the same, just as player. So there's a few drivers. Just make sure it's Johnny Bravo as well. Just make sure your telemetry. So if you just go to settings and go over to telemetry settings, and then just make sure that your telemetry is on. But I don't know which one it is. You can still hide your data, but show your name with one of these. I can't remember which one it is. So Blaze and Just Hayes. Blaze Hayes. Well. Actually, don't do that. So the Ferrari of Just Hayes coming around turn 14. Cheers, Andy. Yeah, because I can't listen to it. I don't know. So Just Hayes in the Ferrari. Up to P5, then you've got Udi, the man from Portugal, in the Mercedes. He's currently in P7, so we can have a look and see what he can do. Morning, Vicar, how are we? Hopefully that's a little bit better, Mac. And so Udi to the line to start his lap. You got Johnny Bravo. You got Pearly Man. Where's I need to get Pearly Man's nationality. I'm missing it. Well, I know what it is, but I can't remember. Is it Bulgaria? I think it might be Bulgaria. It's just for all the stats, that's all. So Pearlyman goes up to P9. Udit, Just Hayes in P5. And then you've got Super Skills in that Alpine. So we'll ride on board with Super Skills and let's see what he can do. If he can try to improve on his lap time. So with that DRS enabled, Super Skills coming around turn 10, DRS enabled once again, opening that rear wing, just giving him an extra little bit of speed. As we go down towards turn 12, yellow flag is waving, but that will not deter Super Skills away. As we're down in towards turn 13 for the Alpine driver of Super Skills, your runner-up in the championship last season, out of the final chicane, and then a run-up to the line, and Super Skills will put it P18. He is absolutely better than that. Jennifer Lee, the man from Hong Kong, the world champion in Tier 4, is struggling a lot. So I do feel for Jennifer here, he's just not found that pace since coming up from Tier 4. I don't know if Tier 3 is the right tier for him yet. I've got a feeling that it's not. So into the pit lane goes Jennifer. Mad Riot in the Red Bull. So the gap between first and last is quite a considerable one at the moment. Pearlyman is retired. So Pearlyman in the Alpine has retired. So he's called it a day. Pearlyman is from Finland. I'm sure his flag's not showing from Finland. So Mad Riot chasing down that time from Max Scavenger. As we can see on the timing screens, he's not close to it yet. He needs a very good sector 3, but I still don't think it's going to be anywhere close to the top. Mad Riot is a former world champion, so he's got that in him. So out of the final corner and then down towards the line, and Mad Riot will put it P15, only 9 tenths off pole. It is getting very close. Red Bull winner. Who's Red Bull winner? Wait, I've not got him on the system. Who is Red Bull winner? What's his nationality or anything? I don't know any of his details. I didn't even know who he was. So Nimblecat is out. Nimblecat is not going to improve, not going to be able to improve. He is close though. So smoking back on his debut, Johnny Bravo in the Audi. There's a lot of drivers going through for their final runs. Max Scavenger and Uenet are really dominating it out in front. Osdon and Alfie Edwards, Marcel Just Hayes are close. And Johnny Bravo running wide. Max Scavenger. As you can see, they're all going out for them final runs. In towards turn 6. And Max Scavenger coming around turn 8, the long right-hander. That rear wing will open. So the man from India bidding to win his first world championship over turn 10. And then down towards turn 11, he is completely out of battery. So that would have really slowed him down. Hold on. And Odon has taken provisional pole. Max Scavenger is now down to P2 by 9/100ths of a second. Here we go. Max Scavenger out of the final chicane. He's 29/1000ths down to the line. Is he going to get it? He's not. Uinep, that's it for him. Blaze, Alfie Edwards, Just Hayes, Marcel, Slow P Gamer, and Wobbly Lizard will be the final driver to the line. Wobbly goes P4. 3 tenths behind Odon. I don't know if anyone else is on a lap. They are not. And that is it here in the sprint qualifying in Melbourne, Australia. So a fascinating qualifying and a lot of unexpected drivers in the mix. So that is it. Let's just take that away. I just need to get these standings. 1 second, guys. So it is, hold on. Oh, wait, why is he... Sorry, guys, bear with me. It's not letting me put his name in. Oh, I've spelled it wrong. So it was Max Scavenger. Remember, there's no formation lap, so I need to be quick about this. Uinep, Wobbly Lizard, Blaze, Alfie Edwards, Just Hayes. I need to put her in. I need to update a lot of these now, because there's been a lot of different things. And then Just Hayes, then Marcel. Then Slopey Gamer, MB, Udit. Then Slav King. Then Smoking back. Oh no, we're going to get going too soon. So here we go for the sprint race here in Melbourne, Australia for Tier 3. Oh, and there's a few jump starts from Red Bull winner and Nimblecat. Did one of the others make them go early? And that is Marcel that has got a torrid start off the line. What has happened here? And there's no formation lap, so it couldn't have been that. Oldon and Max Scavenger, Uinep, scrapping at the very start of this race. Here comes Alfie Edwards and Slow P Gamer down in towards turn 3. Late on the brakes goes the Williams and Wobbly Lizard. Uinep in the Red Bull trying to claw his way back into P3, in which he does so. And the other drivers are extremely close on track. That is Alfie Edwards now going back for the overtake in the Mercedes on a Wobbly Lizard in the Williams. And he does get the overtake. Udi, Super Skills, Johnny Bravo, Marcel is trying to claw his way back. The Racing Bull driver dropping like a stone in water at the start of this Grand Prix. Wobbly Lizard is back through on the Mercedes as Alfie Edwards makes a mistake. Just Hayes in the Ferrari. So thank you very much. And Slow P Gamer, the driver from South Africa, cannot do anything, but now comes back is the Aston Martin of Slow P Gamer, wheel to wheel with Just Hayes. Great racing from the pair of them as Just Hayes battles back and says thank you very much, I'll take that position back from you, and that's what she does. So the other drivers are extremely close as they all funnel through. That's the Audi that's round. He gets tagged. That's Johnny Bravo. And his luck this season goes from bad to worse. Wow, so pearly, man. Remember, we had a drive-through from Red Bull winner and Nimblecat. Mad Riot's also into the pit lane, so I don't know what happened at the start of that race, but there was definitely damage. We've took formation lap off, so there should be no issues regarding that. Enzo, how we doing, mate? You okay? So Uinep in the Red Bull on the back of Max Scavenger in the McLaren. Hold on. Or is it Hodson? Yeah, I'm going to go Hodson. You got MB making a move. That is Marcel. Marcel in the Racing Bull being overtaken by MB. There goes Sergio Silva in the Audi. Did he make a mistake? A lot of people are not sharing the data, so look at that. It's just saying player for everybody. Oh, is it messed up? It must have messed up. So we can have a look at the drivers at the back. Did Johnny Bravo get damage? Oh, and that was a Red Bull winner and Nimble Cat. Red Bull winner in the Cadillac. Black and white flag for Udit, Max Scavenger and Odson. Oh, and that is Smoking Back and Super Skills. So we can see that Smoking Back 1.9 behind Udit, 3/10 in front of Super Skills. What about Wobbly Lizard? This is extremely close. There goes Just Hayes on Alfie Edwards. The Ferrari on the Mercedes, but just runs out of power. Blaze has been overtaken by Udit. Then you've got Smoking Back. Look at Max Scavenger. He's now chasing down Odson. And the Aston Martin is holding on to the lead of this Grand Prix at the moment. You can see the positional changes. The top four have not changed. His name is Dawson as well. Oh, it's O Dawson. I think it's pronounced O Dawson. Oh, Sam. Oh, yes. Thank you. So, Max Scavenger gets past Dawson. The Aston Martin wheel to wheel goes later on the brakes. Oh, Dawson comes back into turn 1 and 2. The McLaren getting very squirrely. And now Uenet might fancy his chances on the Papaya. Down the inside goes the Red Bull. He is going to try his luck. Max Scavenger leaves the space for the Portuguese driver, but he cannot get through. Wobbly Lizard watching all this unfold. Alfie Edwards is 1.4 behind, but potentially can start to catch up to the drivers fighting in front. Johnny Bravo is past Pearlyman. Here comes Wobbly Lizard. The gap is 2/10. What about Max Scavenger? Remember, he'll have that boost. But it's not enough. Have we got the battery charges of the drivers? We definitely need the battery charges, don't we? That is Just Hayes. That is Slav King. And that is Max Scavenger into the lead. And that is Alfie Edwards. Alfie Edwards in the Mercedes is round. Oh my God. Wow. Who was that dodged him like something out of the Matrix? You know what that reminded me of? Isaac Hadjar in Monaco in 2023. Where he was coming through the tunnel and went right around him. That's what that reminded me of. Slav King goes through. Slow Pete Gamer is into the pit lane after 5 laps of racing in this sprint. Yeah, that was really close. So Max Scavenger does now lead. Bear with me, guys. I can't believe we've not got the battery telemetry. So the McLaren of Max Scavenger that is leading to Dawson, and that is Smoking Back, who is coming back. But the McLaren goes like, wow, how did Slav King, my goodness, the Bosnian Herzegovina driver, it's just, that was phenomenal, you know. And look at Smoking Back coming at the McLaren once again. He does run wide nearly into the gravel and Super Skills. He's got a front row seat to the action here. Slav King doing a phenomenal job. But the way that he went later on the brakes and was still able to make 9 and 10, that was so good. You've got to time that to perfection and be able to make the corners in such a way that you are able to go so much later on the brakes but still turn in. Brilliant stuff. So we are on lap 6 of 10 here in this sprint race, and you got Pearlyman that is through on Johnny Bravo, who tries the old switcheroo coming around turn 14 out of the final chicane. It's Aldi versus Alpine. Can Pearlyman, the Bulgarian driver, hold on to Johnny Bravo? It's a sprint race down in towards turn 1. This is going to get tasty. Down in towards the first chicane, Johnny Bravo leaves the space. Side by side once more. Go the Alpine and the Audi. Johnny Bravo, with that DRS enabled, is able to get his nose ahead. Pearlyman Later on the brakes and onto the grass goes Johnny Bravo, and through goes Nimble. Wow. Here comes Nimble for the double overtake on Pearlyman. Pearlyman's definitely going to go deep there, and Nimblecat's going to get the better exit. Close to the wall they go. They do slightly nudge each other. Oh, and Pearlyman's got to be careful there. Nimblecat was trying to come through. Pearlyman defended, but at what cost? To the OG that is Nimblecat, and that, I think that is Udit. That's Slav King that's round. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Slav King, the Bosnian, is round. Udi as well also made a mistake. Has he got any damage to that car? He doesn't. Fastest lap at the moment is Wobbly Lizard. I'm wondering if Slav King got any damage. He did. There's somebody else with some damage there that we just caught an eye on. Yeah, there we go. Jennifer Lee. Jennifer Lee up to P12. What was the pole time? This is Mac. This is tier 3, so it wouldn't have been that close, that high up. I do have the pole time, to be fair. So the pole time in the sprint was a 1:18.1. Uenet, the Portuguese driver, on the Australian of Dawson. Then you've got the German of MB moving through on Super Skills. Slow P Gamer in the Aston Martin. He's wobbling, but he's actually catching up to Red Bull Winner, who's off. I think Red Bull Winner needs to be careful. Here's the South African of Slow P Gamer. As you can see, all the billboards across the track now say F7R on them. I did update them yesterday. I'm glad they all work, because I did. Oh, Slow P Gamer absolutely wipes out Red Bull Winner. And that was a terrorist action on track here in Australia. That is Just Hayes and Wobbly Lizard. And that is Dawson being overtaken by Uenet. Has Dawson, what tyres has Dawson got? He's got mediums. So has Uenet, and so is Max Scavenger. Just Hayes going back from Wobbly Lizard. I tell you what, Hayes will be absolutely loving this, because she had a bad time in tier 2, and I think she was looking to get back into sort of enjoying the racing, and I can say that Hayes is definitely enjoying the racing here in Melbourne. Guys, is the audio okay? Oh, and look at this. Is the game loud enough and stuff like that? Because obviously I'm not listening to it. So look at this. Uenet and Dawson on lap 8 of 10 of this sprint through turn 13. They touch. They need to be careful. Uenet goes back through. And he is going to have that battery charge now, is Dawson. As we head down in towards turn 1. And look at that. He's lifting and coasting. He's lifting and coasting. Just watch this. This is brilliant. We'll get the telemetry up. Watch how he lifts and coasts down in towards turn 3. There we go. Look at it. Look at it. That is fantastic. If you're watching the telemetry, you can see his throttle. You can see the brake. You can see how he lifts off, and he doesn't touch any of the throttle or the brake. He just lets it coast for that split second through the telemetry. Look, there we go again. And then onto the brake pedal. You see, if he was braking once he was letting go of the throttle, the green and the red lines would be side by side, but they're not. He's letting it coast and then going onto the brake pedal. And that is F1 2026 in a nutshell. So Max Scavenger is 2.5 clear. He's turned it up a notch. He's thought, yeah, I don't need to hang about anymore for these two. I'm off skis, and Just Hayes is now into the podium places. Remember, Just Hayes is on hard compound tyres. People might have made a mistake here, but not Hayes. The Ferrari driver going on to the final lap of this race could be hunting down P2. Super Skills and Udi, two very respectful drivers going at it as well, as Super Skills in the Alpine makes the move. Here comes Sergio Silva. That is an incredible lineup. Super Skills, Udi and Sergio Silva. Now Hayes will chase down Uenet. She's going to have so much more grip than the Portuguese in front, and the Red Bull is definitely going to be hanging on to this final lap. Max Scavenger is taken off in the distance. Red Bull versus Ferrari. So Super Skills is through on smoking back. The Alpine driver making progress once more. Around turn 8 we go. In the Scuderia Ferrari. The team from Maranello are going to make a move in Melbourne. And Just Hayes is through on Uynep. Now the question is, does Uynep have the battery charge to respond even with these old tyres? And the Red Bull driver is going to come through. Just Hayes is able to get a foot down. And I think the Ferrari has absolutely done enough to stay P2. And the Aston Martin of Dawson goes deep. It was optimistic. And it did not pay off on this occasion. Smoking back his round. Sergio Silva and Udi. Marcel as well. Super Skills being overtaken by Udi. The Portuguese in the Mercedes is through. But it's Max Scavenger that wins here in Australia. Just Hayes takes P2, Uynep in P3, Dawson in P4. We've still got a couple of battles going on as we come out of the final chicane. It's Udi in the Mercedes to Super Skills in the Alpine to Sergio Silva. There'll be no changes to the line, and that is it. What about Alfie Edwards on Red Bull winner? The other Mercedes against the Cadillac. Out of turn 11, he's on the soft compounds, is Alfie Edwards, and they do not last long around here. As we can see, 46% on them tyres. And Red Bull winner will have the inside of turn 14, and that's exactly what he needs. And remember, points go down to P10 in the sprint and P15 in the race, but it's Red Bull winner with the battery that stays ahead. So there we have it. What a what a fascinating sprint race that was. What a fascinating sprint race. So let's go through the final standings. So it is Max Scavenger that takes the victory. Let me just put these standings in. So, wait, it says Max Scavenger. Mine doesn't say Max Scavenger. Wait. Oh, there we go. I was on the wrong thing. Max Scavenger to Just Hayes, to Uynep, to O Dawson. Wobbly Lizard, Blaze, MB, Super Skills, Marcel, Udi, Sergio Silva, Jennifer Lee, Slav King, then Smoking Back. So I need to put these in. And then Slow P Gamer, Alfie Edwards, Mad Riot, Red Bull winner, and then Johnny Bravo. Right, there we go. That is it for them standings. 21 drivers. Let me just put the ones in for the quali as well. Right, on to the race. I think I need to change Dawson's name because it doesn't match up, so just bear with me a minute. I think I put ODS. 1 minute. OD. Oh, yeah, I've got it right. ODSON. That's fine. So we are going back to the race. Hey, look at it. Please, look at the pitch straight. It's got F7R on it. Look at the garages, Formula 7 racing above the garages. The problem is, because the billboards that we used to have had different sponsors on them, I had to go through yesterday and update every single billboard. Yeah, you know what, Nimble, I really wanted to race as well. Like, really wanted to race. Australia is one of my favourite tracks on the whole calendar. I love it. I'd practiced a little bit this week, especially last night. I was practicing quite a bit. I think Thursday night, I think, after LMU, I might have jumped on for a bit as well. So I was really looking forward to it. I was. But unfortunately, we don't have a commentator. So priority is obviously to get the stream up and running. If there's an opportunity to race tier 4, I might try and race tier 4. But if not, it is what it is. But how are we all? How are we all this morning, guys? It's an early one today. I know a lot of people will be out the house today with the sun shining the way it is. It's absolutely beaming outside. I go back to my old workplace, or new workplace, tomorrow. So I need to just jump out after tier 3, go and get my hair cut and stuff. Right, let's jump into the qualifying. The intro's going to play again. I forgot to turn it off. 1 second. 2 seconds, guys. I need to add an overlay to this because it's not got as many overlays as it should have on it. So just bear with me, guys. Uh, 2 seconds. ERS battery. So that one should be an option, shouldn't it? So we can see the battery of the drivers. We should put that there. We've got tyre performance. We've got driver information. We've got lap timing. ERS battery driver ahead. 1 second. I don't know which ones I've got here. 2 seconds, guys. Oh, yeah, that's the one you want, isn't it? ERS battery driver ahead. So like that. So I don't want the battery. I just want the ERS battery ahead. So we'll have that. So then we can watch it. Then we'll have fastest sectors. Do we want fastest sectors? I think we want fastest sectors for qualifying, so we'll bring that up. So we can have it like here, like that. But then you've got driver lap time in there, so you want to sort of put it there like that, don't you? Pole position, we've got pole position, I think. Reaction time. We want reaction time, don't we? So we'll put it here, but then we'll only bring it up at the start of the race. Right, so we'll take reaction time off. Then we'll take ERS battery ahead off, which is E. And then we'll take that away, which is that one. Let me just edit that one, guys. Sorry. Sorry, I don't mean to mess around, guys. Right, there we go. So, Alfie Edwards, currently on provisional pole for the race here in Australia. How we going, Nick? How we going, Nick? You okay, mate? I hope you're well. So, old Dawson in the Aston Martin. What about Wobbly Lizard? So let's see what the drivers can do. That's how it stands at the moment. Remember, guys, if you are showing this player, just go on your telemetry and make your name public so that we can have your name on all of the overlays. So, Wobbly Lizard coming around turn 8. The sweeping right-hander. And he has absolutely emptied that battery tank. No, I appreciate that, Nick. I hope you're really well, mate. So, Blaze is up to P4. Uwin at P3. And there goes MB. The German driver in the Williams is up to P2. His teammate of Wobbly Lizard is on a lap. We are riding on board with Wobbly. As we head down in towards turn 11. And he's really on the limit here, is Wobbly Lizard. How far is he off that pole position time? He's yellow sector 2. He was purple sector 1 was Wobbly Lizard. Remember, he is on medium compound, so he's not pushing to the point where he will be competing for the overall pole lap, but it is P7, a 19.1 for Wobbly Lizard. Johnny Bravo in the Audi. Yeah, absolutely, Nick. Absolutely, mate. Yeah, it's crazy. So, 0.2 up. Is that right? Johnny Bravo, 0.2 up. It's got it. It can't be on Dawson, that. Red Bull winner. As we head down in towards turn 11. The Cadillac driver. And then you've got Max Scavenger on an out lap. Yeah, that's true, Giant. Oh, and Red Bull winner made a big mistake going into the slow left-hander. Look at them logos. F7R down the pitch straight. You know what I should do? I should offer the billboards out to the drivers that want to use them on PC. So if you want to use the billboards for your race so that you can see them as well, I'll just send you the file and you can put it on. And then you guys can have F7 on the billboards whilst you're racing as well. So Max Scavenger will ride on board with him. We know he's leading the Drivers' Championship at the moment. So the man from India leading the championship. Yeah, there's a lot of people showing player. 2 seconds, let me just put a thing out. So yeah, we can't use that because not enough people are showing it. So Max Scavenger 118.1. He puts it on provisional pole with 9 minutes to go. Udi in the Mercedes. He will be next. You know what? That's a really good idea, Raubro. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Sell advertising spots in the race, and just put them all as theirs for the weekend and stuff. Yeah, that's cool. That. OP Joe Racing. Thank you for the follow, mate. James Arwood Pashley. Thank you for the follow on Facebook. So, Red Bull winner has left the session. So he needs to get back in. I don't know who Red Bull winner is, and I don't know who he is in the chat. And it makes me uncomfortable when I don't know who somebody is and I've not spoken to them yet. But he seems okay. So, Udi to the line goes P12, the Portuguese powerhouse. I know Dawson goes provisional pole in front of Max Scavenger. So that's a phenomenal lap time. I don't know if that's as quick as the sprint qualifying line. Oh, yeah, Vicar, that would be awesome. And I know there's a way you can mess around with stuff in the garage, though. And I know there's stuff that you can change. I know that, wait, because you can get custom liveries, can't you? But it would mean everybody using like world cars and stuff. But yeah, I'm sure there is a way to do something. Because I know that with like F1 esports and stuff, people use their own sponsors. Like Aston Martin esports do not have the same sponsors as normal Aston Martin, so they change them. But yeah, maybe something to look at. So Nimble in the Haas, coming down towards turn 11 now. So back to the action. Yeah, so if you want telemetry on, guys, you have to go to settings, go to telemetry, and then you just put UDP telemetry on. I think it's broadcast on, and it's one of them on. I put them both on because I don't mind. But some people like to not share like their inputs and stuff or their throttle control, so they'll turn one of these off and keep the other on, so it shows their name, show player names on. So, Nimble Cow to P18, Slav King in P20. Oh, Dawson still on pole with 4.5 minutes to go. Dawson, let me have a look. No, yours still says player at the moment. Yeah, it just says player. Do you have to, I think you have to put like show names or something, don't you? So is it like, is it the show player names at the bottom? Contain settings that allows you to share telemetry with other devices on your network. Determines whether other players in an online session will be able to see your platform name. Yeah, so it's that bottom one, show player names. There we go. Oh, Dawson. Blaze. Yeah, everybody's showing up. There we go. So you don't even need to show your telemetry. You just need to put show player names. And then you can still hide your little grip hacks. There we go. Sergio, not showing his though. Little cheater. I'm just kidding. It's actually only for my benefit, so I can see everybody's name and stuff. And especially if I'm doing this, watch. If I bring this overlay up, I like to get all the names to the left-hand side. If it says player, you can't read them off quickly. One second. I do want to just make this a little bit bigger. Probably like that, I think. Yeah, that's better. Right, sorry for messing around. Right, there we go. Let's go. So, we are racing. That is Dawson that is currently on at pole position. Then you've got Max Scavenger in P2. So let's get the telemetry up for the drivers. Alfie Edwards, Wobbly Lizard is in the pit lane. Pearlyman is retired. Pearlyman is retired. So the Alpine not going to be able to improve. Here comes MB. getting ready for his final run with just under 2 minutes of qualifying to remain. His formation lap is off. So MB starts his final run here in Australia. This is for pole position in the race. Nimblecat has retired. So Nimblecat retires. Just subscribe. Energy, thank you for the sub on YouTube. So you must have just watched the video somewhere. Here comes the Audi of Johnny Bravo to the line, and Johnny Bravo will put it P9. Sorry, that's Sergio Silva. Johnny Bravo's the other Audi driver. Max Scavenger, a 117.8 for Max Scavenger, the Indian driver, with a dominant, defiant effort. Dawson will be next, then Alfie Edwards, Wobbly the Lizard and MB. There's a lot of drivers coming to the line. Blaze to start his final run. What about Smoking Back? Red Bull winner retires. Then you've got Mad Riot on an outlap. Super Skills on a flyer. So we'll try and get on board with the first of the final runners. Here comes Uwanet. So Uwanet down in towards turn 13. Marcel retires in P6, the Racing Bull driver. That will be it from him. Out of the final chicane at turn 14. Here comes Uwanet. And it is going to be a 118.1. It's P3 from Uwanet. The Mercedes of Alfie Edwards is slightly up on his time. And he's down. He must have had a torrid sector 3. And that is it. Checkered flag has waved. The drivers can do no more. Slow P Gamer will be next. The Aston Martin of Slow P Gamer coming up towards the checkered flag. And the man from South Africa will start in P7. Here comes Sergio Silva. He's not improving. Then you've got the McLaren into the pit lane. You've got Johnny Bravo in the Audi, who's onto the grass. Super Skills in the Alpine. To the line he goes. And Super Skills will go P12. The Mercedes of Udi will be next to the line. And Udi goes P10 in front of Sergio Silva and Super Skills. Wobbly Lizard is slightly down on his lap time. Then you've got the Cadillac just behind. Sorry, that's the Cadillac of Smoking Back. And he's P11. Is there any more to go? I think that is it. Mad Riot in the Red Bull is 2.5 tenths up, which would only put him near Red Bull winner. Oh no, up to P12. Wow, 6 tenths up. So Just Hayes is 3 tenths up. She finished P2 in the sprint race. Now she's down in P14. Just Hayes goes up to P10. Hey Deadly, thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate the subscription. 6 months, 10 in total. Really, really appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. So there we have it. Qualifying is over. Well, that was a good one. So I just need to put the stats down for the race. Bear with me, because I don't want to lose this. So it is Max Scavenger, Dawson, Uwanet, Alfie Edwards, Wobbly Lizard, Blaze, MB, Slopey Gamer, Marcel, Just Hayes. Then you've got Udi, Smoking Back, Mad Riot, Sergio Silva, Super Skills, Pearly Man, and then Johnny Bravo never shows up. I don't know why. Red Bull winner, Nimble, Jennifer, and Slav King. Yep, they're all in. Johnny Bravo, he just shows a European flag as well, so he just never shows up. It never matches with him. But last week, none of this data was being captured. This week, it's all sorted now, thank God. Oh, I'm an idiot. I've just tried to bring up the over. I tried to type it, and I forgot it. I'm actually trying to type it on my laptop. Oh, God. So we're about to get racing. So here we go for round 6 here in Australia for Tier 3. And it's lights out, and away we go. Oh, Dawson in the Aston Martin did get a better start, but I don't think he's going to be able to catch up to the McLaren. Here comes Uinep and Alfie Edwards in the Mercedes. Wobbly Lizard and Blaze getting through. MB and Slow P Gamer. Marcel just hazing the Ferrari, trying to filter through, and the Ferrari is through. Oh, Marcel in the Racing Bull. Marcel will come back down the inside, but it's beautiful racing to the start of this Grand Prix. Just hazing the Ferrari, squeezing the Racing Bull, but Marcel says no thank you. And there goes Uinep on Wobbly Lizard. The Williams driver now behind the Red Bull. Johnny Bravo and Mad Riot are going toe to toe at the back of this grid as Johnny Bravo goes off the track and into the wall. Johnny Bravo not having a good start to this race as Red Bull winner. There goes Nimblecat in the Haas. He's past Slav King and Sergio Silva through on Mad Riot. And there's a driver. Oh, Mad Riot. I mean, he nearly took out Nimblecat last week, and once again nearly takes him out this week. That was really close. So Johnny Bravo is now through on Nimble. Slow P Gamer is round, and so is Blaze. Something must have happened. Oh, and Blaze just turns into Slav King. Mad Riot is now coming back through, and Slav King has just absolutely wiped out Blaze. What are you guys doing, guys? What is this? Especially as debutants and first-time drivers, that is unacceptable. So Blaze, obviously it was an accident. Nothing was done intentionally, but that Slav King dive was potentially done deliberately there. Dawson and Matt Scavenger, and we don't do that kind of stuff here, guys. So Sergio Silva and Johnny Bravo, the two Audi drivers in P16 and P17. And then Mad Riot on Slow P Gamer. Oh, and look at this. They are all grouped up. They are bunched up. And that is Johnny Bravo and Red Bull winner going past Sergio Silva. Nimblecat and Mad Riot going at it once again. And through turn 10. Down towards turn 11 now for the drivers, and Slav King in the McLaren is going to try and make his way through. The Red Bull later on the brakes, they'll go wheel to wheel through turn 11. Beautiful racing here under the sunshine, down under. So back on board with Dawson and Max Scavenger. There's one McLaren racing at the back, one McLaren racing at the front. How was the sprint? Was good, mate. Yeah, exactly, Alvaro. So that is Nimble and Jennifer Lee and Mad Riot. The OG goats here in Formula 7. Johnny Bravo trying to filter his way through. Marcel squeezing to the outside. All 21 drivers still in this race. Oh, and Marcel went for an optimistic dive up the inside of Pearlyman. And it did not pay off, and now Johnny Bravo is through, and Marcel will get swallowed up. And that's what happens when you make them moves like that. You'll leave yourself open and vulnerable for overtakes from behind. And so Dawson leading this race. And that is Johnny Bravo and Pearlyman. That is Marcel. Is he going to go up the inside? He is. Oh, and he's run quite wide there. It was really good racing to keep it clean. As we get the aerial shots as Marcel goes back through on the Alpine of Pearlyman. And the Bulgarian is back in front. So, to the leaders, Uinep, there goes MB. Alfie Edwards in the Mercedes, just losing a little bit of time. And losing position. And that is Slav King again. Yeah, he's out. Oh, and that might be a safety car. It is a safety car. And Nimble's picked up a 10-second time penalty for a severe collision. I think it's a 10-second time penalty. It is. So he's going to serve that in the pit lane. The safety car is out. Slav King, unfortunately, that might be it. Hurleyman with a 10-second speeding into the pit lane. Yeah, demoted to Slab Prince. So safety car is out, they'll all regroup back up. The actual racing at the start of this race has actually been really good. I mean, I'm not a big fan, to be honest, of the aggressiveness from Marcel Giant Stick. I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's been good racing, but it's okay to be aggressive. That's fine. It's okay to be aggressive and race aggressive. But if you're just barging your way through and dive bombing and causing collisions, then that's different. Luckily, Marcel hasn't done that yet. So a few of the touches and overtakes have been on the limit. But yeah. So hopefully we can keep it clean, guys. It isn't won in the race isn't won in one lap. It's won over multiple. I do worry when drivers join and they have got nothing to fight for, and they you know what I mean, like. So please just keep it clean. I know people want to race and people want to be aggressive and stuff, but just make sure we're not causing collisions. Yeah, no, I get that stick. Did Udi pit? Yes, he did. Udi did pit. So that could be very interesting. So, Wobbly Lizard, who in it? It is Max Scavenger in P2. And then Dawson is your race leader. So, doing a fabulous job at the moment to lead the Australian Grand Prix. So, 6 out of 29 laps. Remember, we do have Tier 2 after this race. Is the stream okay for you guys? Not crashing or anything, is it? Right, cheers, Alvaro. Cheers, Giant. So, safety car is out for one more lap. Nimblecat is going to catch back up, but he has got rid of that 10-second time penalty. I don't know what's going on with Nimble at the moment. It looks like he's going back into the pit lane. He's on he's on old soft compounds. This is a real shame for Nimble. I think he's got a few issues. He's going to have to hurry up to catch back up to the pack. If he goes onto fresh tyres and gets back up to the pack now, it's not all over. Yeah, hard till the end of this race. Go on, Nimble. Catch back up to the pack and have a good race. So the number 6-7 driver of Nimblecat. Yeah, he will catch up and he's going to be on fresh, hard compound tyres till the end of this race. Probably about 12:30, mate. So, the safety car will be in this lap. Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. There we go. We are back racing. And it is Dawson that gets us underway. Max Scavenger and Uenep side by side. Will Uenep go later on the brakes in towards turn 1? Luckily, Nimble is back with the pack, only by 2 seconds behind. So, through turn 2 and then down towards turn 3. Slow P Gamer, that is Pearlyman and Blaze. Pearlyman demoted to P19, but then here comes Blaze and Red Bull Winner. Red Bull Winner a little bit shaky as he goes off the track. There's a few new drivers here that are a little bit, yeah. Blaze, oh, wow. Pearlyman locking horns. The two Williams of Wobbly Lizard and MB, I'm wondering if any of them will decide to change hands. They are all very closely matched, the top 5. Max Scavenger only 2 tenths behind Dawson. Just Hayes through on Alfie Edwards. Just Hayes gets the move done. Mad Riot on Jennifer Lee. And this is where the quicker drivers might start to come through and cause all sorts of problems, especially on fresher tyres. What about Max Scavenger? This is for the lead of the Grand Prix. Dawson hangs on. And what about Uenep? Uenep and the Red Bull is through. That is a phenomenal move. And Max Scavenger will come for a huge dive back up the inside. And this is so good to watch. Wobbly Lizard goes deep, and I tell you what, the Williams drivers are not going to help themselves. Because look how slow they're both going, trying to help each other, and now Just Hayes watching them both. And I think they've left themselves open from an attack from the Ferrari now. Just Hayes in the Scuderia is going to fill her through both Williams. She's going to go for a double overtake. Alfie Edwards, Just Hayes using that battery. Luckily, MB held on. Udi and Mad Riot. Jennifer Lee back up the inside. Oh, and that's a Mad Riot into the wall. Did he get damage? He did. Mad Riot got damaged, but not to the side that hit the wall. Oh, it could be to the side that hit the wall. Wobbly and Alfie Edwards. Mercedes versus Williams. Alfie just let the Williams driver of Wobbly Lizard go then to switch it back up the inside. Uenep chasing down Dawson, Max Scavenger. MB, Just Hayes, Wobbly, Alfie Edwards, Smoking Back, Super Skills, Sergio Silva, Udi, Jennifer Lee, Mad Riot, Slow P Gamer, Marcel and Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo going to go through on Marcel as the Racing Bull driver. Johnny Bravo switching back to the inside. Takes out Slow P Gamer. That was such an avoidable move from Johnny there. No need. Slow P Gamer doesn't know what day it is. So Nimble is back in this, and remember, he's got the freshest tyres on the grid, so don't count him out yet. So the leaders, here we go. Alfie Edwards on Wobbly Lizard, later on the brakes, and makes a move around the outside. And Uinep, the top three are separated by 0.3 of a second. This is brilliant. So we can see the intervals between the pair of them. And look how close this is. This is the Red Bull. I think Johnny Bravo's around, but we are watching the leaders here of Uinep and Dawson. And does he go for the move? He doesn't. He's being very patient here, Uinep. He gets the better exit out of turn 2. That DRS will be enabled. Oh, that overtake, sorry. Wobbly Lizard on Alfie Edwards. Just looking at the tyres, 10 laps on mediums, they are yet to pit. But have a look at Udi. Johnny Bravo is out in the pit lane. Udi pitted. Not been a great race this for Johnny Bravo. He's been really struggling as of late. Really struggling. Average Tom on banana, wow. There we go. Dawson and Uinep for the lead. That might have been a corner cut from Dawson, and he made a mistake, and now he's been overtaken by the McLaren and the Red Bull. Here comes the Williams of MB back down the inside. This is for P2 from P4. Uinep and MB side by side. This is an amazing battle for the lead of this race. The podium sitters. Just Hayes has now arrived to make it 5 in towards turn 13 and 14 we go. The Red Bull around the outside of MB. Portugal versus Germany, and it's Portugal 1-0. Dawson, Australia versus India. So many great nationalities involved here in Tier 3. And that is Blaze and Nimble. Blaze going through on his teammate, and then Marcel going through on Sergio Silva, the Racing Bull driver, making a move. Great stuff as Sergio, the other Portugal driver, down in P13. Marcel moves on through. So you can have a look. The fastest sectors so far. Just Hayes gets in front of MB. Johnny Bravo is out. Fastest lap so far from Udit. Jennifer Lee and Sergio Silva, two absolute goats on track. And Jennifer Lee, oh, did he get damage? I think he went into the wall there. Nimble is back from pit on Blaze, his teammate, and there goes Udit. He is making strides through this grid. Super Skills in the Alpine, down to P10. Wobbly Lizard has lost a few places, and I don't know if that's down to the team's fault there, to maybe not say, listen, you need to let me go. And there goes Dawson into the pit lane. He's gone for the undercut. So the Australian driver here at his home Grand Prix is going for the undercut. So Just Hayes now will be left on the back of Uinep. So we're riding on board with Just Hayes. A black and white flag for corner cutting. Oh, Blaze picks up a 3-second time penalty. There goes Wobbly Lizard. And the Williams is through. And Alfie Edwards and Smoking Back as well. Remember, Smoking Back, I think, is on his debut here today. And around turn 8, the Mercedes and the Cadillac fighting with Wobbly Lizard. Alfie's got a 3-second time penalty. Then you've got Slow P Gamer going through. And Udi on these freshest of tyres. As we can see, look, nobody else around him has pitted. They're all struggling on mediums, and Udi's coming through on fresh hards. And he's going to go for the double overtake. Udi in the Mercedes is up to P4. Surely Alfie Edwards' teammates got to let him go here. No, Alfie Edwards is coming back at him. Surely not. Surely Alfie has to let his teammate go there and hold on for him. Especially with him being on fresh tyres, and then he pits anyway. I cannot believe we've just seen two teammates not work together when one is on such an amazing strategy and the other one's on an undercut. Yeah, really crazy scenes. But Alfie Edwards did get back in front of Udi. It's not helped him out. And now Udi's going to have to make it again. Past Wobbly Lizard as he comes around the outside. But then you've got Marcel being a bit more patient this time. Does go into the back of Udi, who's also being careful not to ruin his chances. He's on a massive undercut. He pitted when the safety car came out. So fighting for P2. Max Scavenger is 8 seconds clear. Now here comes Udi with that DRS enabled. Well, with the overtake. And Marcel has the inside line. Will Marcel try and make a move on the Portuguese driver as we head down in towards turn 10, 9 and 10. And Udi backs out. Doesn't want any part of that. That means that Wobbly Lizard may be able to chance his luck. He doesn't. And now here comes Udi up the inside. Oh, and he just has to back out. Marcel not going to be leaving the door open there for Udi. And whilst all of this is happening, it's only going to be helping out the drivers that have gone for the overcut. Oh, did Wobbly Lizard tag him? Did Wobbly Lizard hit the back of him and spin him round? A driver that is on an incredible strategy might have just had it taken out of his hands through no fault of his own. And would that have happened had he have been let go by his teammate just the lap earlier? So that is why it's always really crucial for teammates to work together at every possibility. So Alfie Edwards now is up to P14. Remember, he's come out behind just Hayes and MB. Udi's still in this. He's still got a good chance. With that mistake, he's still in with a chance. Dawson getting through on Blaze. Blaze just moving out of the way. And now Dawson on the Cadillac driver. Udi is back through on Jennifer Lee, and the provisional leader of Dawson goes through, and so does Blaze. Oh, and they've got to leave each other space there. Wow, that was close. Red Bull winner and Blaze. If you're going to make a move around turn 9 and 10, you've got to leave space and make sure that it's the right move. MB, the Williams driver, on the Ferrari of Hayes. This has been a really, really good race, by the way. It looked like it was contact. It looked like it was a little bit of contact from the Williams when he was coming out of the corner. But yeah, that's what it looked like. But it might not have been. If it wasn't, then it's all on his own. And Udi is into the pit lane for his second pit stop. Interesting strategy this by Udi, because he's essentially pitted and now he's a pit down, but he's on the same strategy as the others. Uwnep's out. Uwnep's retired in the pit lane. Wait, Uwnep was fighting for the lead just a couple of laps ago. What has happened to Uwnep? I have a feeling, I'm just going to have a look in the chat. There goes Just Hayes on Nimble. And just having a look at the tyres of Nimble, they're not actually in bad condition here. Nimble's ended up in a really strong position. Uwnep was fighting for the lead, but something has happened to the point where yeah, Johnny Bravo retired because he was struggling with the brakes and ruining people's races. That's what he said. Yeah, I'm not sure why Uwnep has retired from this race, but I don't really, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, I don't really understand what's happened. Because at 1 minute, you had Uwnep Max Scavenger and, you know, Dawson fighting for the lead. And now you've got Uwinep out, you've got Max Scavenger in P17, and you've got Dawson, the only one that actually pitted in P4. So what happened to Max Scavenger? What happened to Uwinep? What happened to MB for them to all be in different positions after the pit stop? Oh, Uwinep and Max Scavenger had a collision. Wow. The one rule that I say when you are fighting for the lead of the Grand Prix is don't cause each other to go out of the race. Because not only are you ruining it for them, you're going to throw it away for yourself. And it's always difficult because you are competitive and you are fighters and you are racers. But when you're fighting for the lead, you've got so much to lose. Smoking back on Sergio Silva. And have a look at the tyre performance of the drivers. Dawson is through on Just Hayes. And that is Mad Riot into the pit lane. Can Just Hayes come back at Dawson, at MB, sorry. Ah, no way. That's crazy, isn't it? That's really unlucky, that way. Really unlucky. Super skills on Alfie Edwards. Yeah, it happens sometimes, guys. How we doing, Kai? How we doing, Sander? So, Nimble has been overtaken by Alfie Edwards, who's completely out of battery. So, the Mercedes driver. What about super skills? Can he chase him down? We can see the tyres. 33% on the left for Nimble, 20 and 21% for super skills in the Alpine. And he is, look, you can see how much more grip he's got around turn 12 and 13. So in towards the left at 13, and that is Dawson that is now into P2. He is clawing his way back to the top. Really good to see. And then super skills in the Alpine does get the move done on Nimble. And what about Slow P Gamer, the Aston Martin? Is he going to help his teammate out? I do wonder if that is going to be an option for the drivers to say, you know what, I'm just going to hold it here. I'm going to try and hold up Just Hayes, give my teammate a little bit of leeway. 10 laps remaining in this race. So MB on Just Hayes as we come around turn 8 at the right-hander. And with that battery enabled, look at them, they are both completely out of charge as we come down the straight. MB recharging, and just watch this, how they lift off. So you'll be able to see the way that they lift off going down in towards turn 11. I tell you, MB is not doing as much coasting as what we've seen in this race. This is really, really competitive racing. Wobbly Lizard goes for on Nimble. Nimble, I tell you, Nimble is in a really strong position here. If he gets any type of safety car... Oh, no! Oh, no. Commentator's curse. Commentator's curse. Nimble Cat. Oh, I should have never gone on board with him. I should have never gone on board. That is Dawson. That is now your race leader. He is through on Marcel. I know. I know. So Marcel in that Racing Bull. Marcel's got the strategy completely right here, by the way. That is Just Hayes that is back into the podium places. So P Gamer is in the pit lane. So you can see Salute Productions on the billboards there. Big shout out to him. He's done a fantastic job in taking us to the next level in Le Mans Ultimate. He's putting some work. Here goes Nimble. Remember, he does have that damage, remember, to that front wing. Good and fair racing there. I've just done it again. I've just done it again. I've just done it again. Right, I'm not going on board. I'm sorry, Nimble. I don't know, Sander. I don't know. Super Skills is up to P5, the Alpine driver, but he has Alfie Edwards on his tail. But remember, Alfie does have a 3-second time penalty. Up the inside they go. Wow, that is close. That is so close. This is great. Dawson leading by 2 seconds. And Blaze is going to come into the pit lane. And for the final laps, he's going to be on nice, fresh, clean tyres. So we are on lap 22 of 29. It's been a pretty good race, I can't lie. So Dawson has been fantastic. And it is home Grand Prix. So here comes MB on Just Hayes. Remember, this is for the final podium position. Is MB going to try and cling it around the outside of turn 9 and 10? Side by side they go. The Ferrari and the Williams. That is amazing. Just Hayes giving Just space. Max Scavenger, remember, is still in this Grand Prix. Sergio Silva on slow P Gamer through turn 9 and 10. The Aston Martin driver will come back around the outside of the Audi. South Africa versus Portugal. And through goes South Africa. So Blaze on Red Bull winner. Oh no. And that is a collision between Blaze and Red Bull winner. Such an avoidable incident. Remember, points go down to P15 here in F7. They are both going to carry on. Do they have damage? Red Bull winner has damage. And Blaze has considerable damage. Pearly Man in the Alpine might be able to catch up to them now. So, Smoking back on his debut. Having a great first Grand Prix here in Formula 7 racing. Remember, if you are a quick driver and you are looking to race, we are in need of Tier 1 drivers. If you think you've got the pace to hang it with the big boys and compete at the very top of F7R, you need to come and join the Discord and get on the grid. Just Hayes on Marcel. Remember, the tyres between these two are very different. Here comes Hayes in the Ferrari. Late on the brakes goes Hayes. And through on Marcel. Now MB will be next. The Racing Bull versus the Williams, but he's got the battery. And MB will look around the outside of Marcel. Great side-by-side racing. And the Racing Bull slots back into P4. Super Skills with a super move on Alfie Edwards, and then Mad Riot on Udi. Mad Riot is up to P9. And there goes Marcel, he's coming back. at MB. This is not going to help him out in that fight for P2 with Just Hayes. And there's a 3-second time penalty for Mad Riot for corner cutting. Yellow flag is waving. It was only briefly. And that is Smoking Back overtaking Wobbly Lizard and Udi around the outside of Slow P Gamer and around the outside potentially of Mad Riot. No, he goes into the wall. And Udi did not get a good entrance into that chicane. And now it could be costly. And looking at the tyres, Slow P Gamer, Udi is on the freshest tyres. No, actually, Slow P Gamer's on the freshest tyres. Yellow flag is waving once more, and that is Red Bull winner that's into the wall. That could have potentially been a safety car. That would throw it all up in the air. Oh, and that is Red Bull winner back into the wall again. Super Skills having a really good Grand Prix here, you know. So Udi will pick up these positions from Slow P Gamer and Mad Riot because they've both got time penalties. That is really good racing. Just onto the grass though, as they both try to be very respectful. Smoking Back on Super Skills, who will pick up P5 because of that time penalty of Alfie Edwards in front. Oh, that was close. From Super Skills, Max Scavenger and Sergio Silva, and then Smoking Back is through on the Alpine, the Cadillac driver. Just looking at the tyres of these two, Super Skills starting to struggle. And Alfie Edwards. Yellow flag waving again. Yeah, Red Bull winner again. Yeah, no worries, Sandra, I get it, mate. So, Smoking Back on Alfie Edwards. Alfie trying the old switcheroo. And then around the outside goes Super Skills on the Mercedes. And whilst all of that's going on, Wobbly Lizard is starting to catch up. And what about MB on Just Hayes? These are fighting for P2 and P3. Yellow flag once more. I tell you what, if a safety car came out now, it would be an absolute game changer in this race. 26 of 29. I think it might be too late for a safety car. Remember guys, if you think you've got the pace to hang it in Tier 1 with the big boys here in F7R, come and join the grid. We need Tier 1 drivers on the grid. Every other tier is absolutely stacked to the point where we physically can't fit the drivers onto the grid. We've got too many drivers and not enough seats. But for Tier 1, we do struggle for fast drivers to stay on the grid. And we do have a couple of drivers on holiday at the minute. There goes Just Hayes and MB. Slow P Gamer. Oh, and that is Slow P Gamer in the Aston Martin, who got all out of shape, and Udi's into the wall. Udi's into the wall. He's missing a front wing. Oh, that's a real shame after the race that he's had. That is a real shame. Just Hayes still trying to hold on to that P2. So Dawson, 5.5 seconds clear of the pack. We are on lap 27 of 29. That is Alfie Edwards being overtaking Wobbly Lizard. And now he will try Super Skills as well. Oh, and that was close. That was nearly a huge crash. Here comes Wobbly Lizard, remember, without any time penalties. And he just thinks better of it. He's got to be patient now. He doesn't want to throw all the hard work away. And I tell you what, Williams are on for some really big points here. So around turn 14 and then down the pitch straight we go. Outfit on super skills. And he just backs out. We are on the penultimate lap. DB, how we doing, mate? And that is Blaze through on Udi, and that is Slow P Gamer through on Mad Riot. They do touch. And the Red Bull driver down in P10. Still some big points for Mad Riot at this stage in the race. MB and Just Hayes fighting for P2. They are nearly 6 seconds behind Dawson, who unfortunately has been left out on his own after that crash with Max Scavenger and Uina. Max Scavenger carrying on because he knows that he's in a championship fight and every single point counts. And around the outside, and there goes MB on Just Hayes. Side by side goes the Williams and the Ferrari, and Just Hayes is back through. That was close. Just Hayes stays in P2. MB will have to try again on the very final lap of this race. Keep an eye on the battery charge. Keep an eye on the tyres. And keep an eye on these two drivers. Wobbly Lizard is through as well on Super Skills. Super Skills in the Alpine, back into the slipstream, down in towards turn 1. On the very final lap, the Alpine driver is back into P6. Wobbly Lizard pushing him through. Here comes Alfie Edwards, and Wobbly Lizard backs out. And Super Skills has got some breathing space. Now, back to P2 and P3. Around turn 6 and 7 we go. Through turn 8 of the long right-hander. Can MB use his battery to get in front of Hayes? I think he might have missed the boat. There goes Super Skills and Wobbly Lizard once again. And through goes Alfie. Alfie has saved up all of his battery for this final run. He'll go for the double overtake. Alfie Edwards, Super Skills knows he's got a time penalty. He doesn't need to fight this. Dawson is coming in towards turn 13 and 14. Just Hayes is a second clear, but Dawson, the Australian here in Melbourne, will win the Grand Prix here in Tier 3. Just Hayes is going to come around the final corner, and the Scuderia Ferrari will take P2. MB! Wow, MB touched the grass and crashed. Marcel, with a phenomenal drive, takes P4, smoking back in P5. Did Marcel run out of fuel there? Super Skills will come through in P6, Wobbly in P7, Alfie in P8, Max Scavenger scavenges his way back to P9. What an end to this race. Oh, Jesus, sorry. That was a really good Grand Prix, guys. Yeah, it was. But only 3 DNFs out of 21 drivers. There was a few collisions, but all in all, it was a really good Grand Prix. So much good driving as well. So there you have it on the top step. It was very aggressive, the racing today, but it was a good Grand Prix in the end. But it was very aggressive at times from certain drivers. I feel a few debutants were a little bit aggressive today. Dawson wins to Just Hayes in P2, MB in P3. Marcel in P4, and then Smoking back in P5. Super Skills in P6, Wobbly Lizard in P7, Alfie Edwards in P8, Max Scavenger in P9, Slow P Gamer in P10, and Mad Right in P11. Sergio Silver in P12, and then Jennifer Lee in P13. Blaze P14, Burleyman P15, P16 for Udit, and P17 for Nimble. P18 for Red Bull Winner, P19 for Uwanet, then Johnny Bravo and Slav King. So Red Bull Winner is from Denmark. So let me just put that in. I've got a feeling that Red Bull Winner might... Yeah, there we go. So there you have it, guys. That was interesting. What time is it? Should we do interviews? I don't know. I've not done interviews for ages in Tier 3. Yeah, could have been a lot worse. Right, I'll let everybody get off just to sort out for Tier 2. I know Tier 2 kicks off shortly. But yeah, been a great race, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and staying with me. I really do appreciate it. It's always a pleasure, and especially when you guys join me and stay with me for the majority of the race. I appreciate all the support as well. So yeah. Sorry, I was just reading the comments. Yeah. Anybody watching on TikTok as well, remember you can get involved by joining Formula 7 Racing if you are a quick driver. Tier 1 is in need of some quick drivers who want to challenge themselves. But we will be back for Tier 2 at 12:30. Make sure you tune in for that one. Some really good drivers to contend with who are pretty much on the limit of sort of Tier 1 as well. So you get some real good pace in there. You've got a mixture of battling. And the grid is absolutely stacked in Tier 2. So yeah, tune in for that at 12:30. Then we'll have Tier 4 at 3 o'clock with our special duo from last week joining us. And then you'll have me back for Tier 1 at 7 p.m. tonight. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Thank you for watching. I really, really appreciate the support. It does mean a lot. Hopefully I can get a race in Tier 4. But yeah, until then, guys, I will see you on the next one. And have a great weekend.